Hey, I'm Den, and this is Den and Denim. Today we're reviewing the 1984 501 in the Levi's Vintage Clothing Collection. It gets non-selvage, pre-shrunk vintage denim. Or is it? Beware the savage lore of 501 1984's Den and Denim. Just like all pairs, the 1984 501 comes in a rigid, which is the darkest wash you'll find in most jeans. You get the flasher so you can rip it off and break them in just like you would in the day. Even though they claim the 1983 was the end of the selvage, they still made the rigid and all of the blues in selvage denim. There's no limited edition, but there are some fun pairs. The Tangled Web are the spider web influenced pair, coming in selvage with spider designs all over. There's a matching trucker with type 3, I think, with bats on it. But if you want to go matching spider webs, there's the sweatshirt, and it can make a nice pair together. The Broken Promise has white line distresssions going vertically, horizontally all throughout it. Again, coming in selvage, a dark wash. The Double Double. Now the Double Double good come in double selvage line on the outside. And this paint fabric splashed on the sides and the back. The Short Straw are a light wash distressed, clean looking pair, selvage. Then we get into the best part of the 1984s, which are the colors. They are non-selvage, so if you cuff them up, be prepared for not that nice white wall look on the outside. I prefer just to not cuff them up. There's a gray, which looks quite clean, a light gray. I think if they did this one in an acid wash, that would be the best pair to do it with, other than blue. The black pair of 501s, the black lights, which come in an unhemmed finish. So you can roll, you can get hemmed, or just leave loose, and they'll flare out a little bit after being washed. It's a faded distressed dark. It's not pure black, but it's made to look very grungy after the influence of the style. And of course the white, which come in pre-shrunk. I think it's great to always have a white pair of 501s. I always have. I got married in a pair. This is the only non-rigid to come with a flasher. Being pre-shrunk, you want to get your size, and this particular pair wears right at the waist, not high like some of the other ones. To the owner of this 501 jean, around 1984, thanks to advances in technology that allowed for production of wider fabric rolls, we began using wide goods, shrink to fit denim in our 501 jeans instead of the standard selvage. During this time, America saw the rise of the new type of consumer, the yuppie. With their disposable income and expensive taste, yuppies embodied 80s materialism, and in the process launched countless new subcultures started by folks who didn't think conspicuous consumption was so cool. They expressed frustration with their consumerism and politics through art, music, and fashion. The one thing they all had in common: Levi's. Overall thoughts for the pair? They have a nice fit. I like the lower rise, especially in the white pre-shrunks that ride right on your waist. A pair of rigid is the closest thing I'm going to find to what I wore as a kid. Rip off that flasher and break them in however you're going to do it. Soaking, walking around, keeping rigid for a year until you really broke them in smoothly. I like that they're doing the colors. That's a nice little thing. Where do we go from here? I think we're missing the acid wash pair that they can do in a couple years. That was a style that was a thing. But this is the end of the vintage line. I don't see an 87 or an 89 or a 94 or something because they don't change enough. There's not enough features that are important to these jeans before we start recreating them. Technically, the Japanese were already making some vintage recreations about a year after 1984, so that's where it starts. If you're going for a pair, I recommend it, but it's really in your tertiary ring of buying to explain the Levi's Vintage 501. You want something in classic or historical from 47, 1890, before you get a retro pair from 66 and afterwards. And the 84s are really once you've amassed quite a few other pairs. But if it's your pair you want to get, you come across a pair, it's a good made jean. It is definitely a well-made jean, especially compared to Levi's premium collection nowadays. I'm Den, and this has been Den and Denim. Hit that subscribe button because it really helps. More videos to come.